functions, and they went straight ahead and pushed consolidation with the help of not only Representative Randall, but also Representative Beverly, who I understand knew more than he is saying he knew about the negotiations. And then, of course, Miriam Paris, who was just whole hog in there, pushing for consolidation, and even to this day says that she thinks that it's just great. And has the nerve, Captain, has the nerve to offer the people, offer her services again. Now, if she gave us consolidation in less than a year there, what in the world would she give us if we allowed her to get back in there? So she has announced already, this is Miriam Paris, has announced that she's running against David Lucas, Senator David Lucas, our senator, next year already. And that is so that she can start collecting Republican money.
Yes, and I heard that. And of course, someone is behind her.
Of course, the Republicans.
Because they don't want David Lucas there. But you are exactly right about the consolidated. I was telling somebody about your 10-year plan, which would have made more sense.
Right.
Gradually, like the service delivery on the recreation, you move that and give that a year, a couple of years, and let people get used to it. Then you take the next department.
Exactly.
The fire department already is consolidated.
Right.
But then you let the police department, law enforcement, be last.
Yeah. Well, Captain, were you there the other day when the discussion came up? I believe it was Dr. Ficklin who asked the question about fire insurance and what the rates would look like. We in the city now have a Class 1 fire protection rating, which means that helps us when we have to have fire insurance. The rates are more reasonable, but under consolidation, you have in the county a Class 2 or 3. It's Class 3, and then there's an area we were told that's a Class 9. And so our fear is under consolidation that we are going to have a problem in city. Those who live in the city limits now will become a part of this new government, and the rating for fire rating will be lower, and that the insurance premiums for fire protection will go up, will increase. So that's a real fear.
Yeah, it's going to be compromised and put that there again. If we would have used something similar to your plan, then the county would have had time to upgrade the water pressure and all of the problems, and and it would have been all around things but it was a reason for Allen Peak and Cecil Staten and all of that people.
Well, what do you think was the reason? What do you think was the major reason for the Republicans pushing, and then some of our Democratic leaders helping to push this consolidation through?
The bottom line, they didn't want Jack Ellis to be the mayor. That's the bottom line. It was a rush. They knew that Jack Ellis probably would have run that race, and they wanted to consolidate because, if I'm not mistaken, that was when I believe Allen Peak put out the word that if Jack Ellis became mayor, he was going to create a new city in North Macon.
Well, so much for that bluff, because it costs too much, I think. They wanted it, but they weren't willing to pay that price. Where are you going to get fire protection and police protection and all of this kind of stuff? So they rethought that, but they've got another plan in place, and we'll talk about that on future shows. Captain, we do appreciate you calling. Do you have any final comments that you'd like to share with us?
It's just one person I still don't want to leave out in relation to Chief Carswell being put in place. I would just like to mention the Sheriff David, for standing his ground.
Right, and refusing to take that on.
Take that on, and I just think a lot of him. I voted for him, and I think that he will be our sheriff because he's for right, and he's proven that.
Right.
But I like to just, for people to know what's going on.
Right.
within politics and things that is very important to them. But,
Right. Well,
I'm not going to hog the whole show.
Okay, well, we want to continue hearing from you. We admire your years of experience. We admire you. For years and years, you were the face of the police department as far as crime and solving crimes and giving updates, and we kind of miss that. But we are glad to have you as a member of the Macon City Council, and we know that you will continue to serve this community, and I want to express appreciation to you for all you've done in the short time you've been there, and for your support and your endorsement of my candidacy for Commissioner District 3.
Right. The morning that I wake up and Elaine Lucas is not in office somewhere, it's going to be a bad day.
Oh my!
I
do appreciate you, and the check's in the mail.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, Captain. Thank you so very much. That's one of Macon's finest, retired police captain Henry Gibson, and many of you know him as Gip, and we admire him so much, and he just lends such leadership to the city council. And you might remember that this group that schemed on some of us to keep us off of the committees of council, they weren't even going to place this 35-year veteran of the police department on the public safety committee. And Henry Ficklin and I fought and reminded them of his experience, and they were so ashamed until they just had to place him on public safety committee, a 35-year veteran of the police department, and they weren't even going to put him on there. So, but that's what happens when you have the secret meetings. Many of you have forgotten about that there were two people who met with the mayor in a secret meeting to decide who was going to be on what committees, and this was at the beginning of this present term that we're in. So we wonder whatever happened to that ethics violation. Whatever happened to that? So we, inquiring minds want to know. You're listening to Ask Elaine. The number is 646-5858. I have with me Mr. Mike McIntosh, who is the immediate past president of the Northeast High School senior class. He is out for the summer. He's anticipating going to Gupton Jones Mortuary College. We are so very proud of him. We'll talk with Mike in just a minute. Let him share anything that he'd like to tell the young people that they need to be about this summer. We do have another call. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine. Okay, we hope that caller will call us back. 646-5858 is our call-in number. Mike, would you share with us what you're up to during the summer and any information you'd like to have or advice for young people for the summer?
My advice to the young people is to build your foundation, because building a foundation is getting your diploma. That's the start of your foundation. And throughout the summer, you should enter into different activities and careers that you would like to take on, so that you can be ready to start your new school year.
Okay, thank you. Very good advice. Very good advice. We do have another caller. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
Good afternoon, Miss Elaine. How are you?
We're fine. How are you?
I am great. I'm called. First, I want to thank you. I am the young lady. Your husband and yourself gave me some tickets to a show that we had here in Macon not too long ago. So I'm very appreciative of that.
I remember.
You remember?
Yeah.
And so I want to say, not only do you guys, you really stand behind what you're out there doing, and I appreciate that. You know, you're living your politics. I actually have like a two-part thing. One, I want to ask about giving the people of Macon some insight as far as the upcoming mayoral